Ever had a day that felt like two seasons in one? That's classic British weather. You wake up to drizzle, a mild 12 degrees Celsius, and grab your raincoat for another grey day. The air is heavy, the sky a dull blanket, and you're already craving tea. But as the day goes on, something shifts. The rain stops, the wind sharpens, and the sky turns a pale, icy blue. By evening, the temperature has plunged. 12 degrees is now just 2, and puddles are icing over. Next morning, you pull back the curtains to a world of white. -5 degrees, snow everywhere. In less than a day, autumn has become deep winter. How does this happen so fast? It's not magic, it's science. The UK's weather can flip dramatically because of our unique spot on the map. We're caught between warm, wet Atlantic air and cold, dry Arctic blasts. When the balance tips, the change is sudden and extreme. Understanding this is like cracking the code of British weather. So let's dive into the science behind these wild, rapid weather flips. It's all about jet streams, air pressure, and a battle of the winds. Ready to find out how it works? Why is the UK the stage for such wild weather swings? It's all about location. We're an island surrounded by the warm Atlantic to the west and the icy Arctic to the north. Atlantic air brings us mild, damp winters, our default setting. But to the north and east, Arctic and continental air masses lurk, ready to send freezing, dry air our way. The UK is a crossroads, where these air masses constantly battle for control. Most of the time, the Atlantic wins, thanks to the jet stream, a fast-moving river of air high above us. The jet stream usually keeps the coldest air at bay, but when it weakens or shifts, the door opens for Arctic or continental air to rush in. That's when we get those dramatic, sudden freezes. Our position makes us uniquely vulnerable to these rapid weather takeovers. It's a constant tug of war in the sky. For a rapid weather flip, you need 3 key ingredients. First, a supply of mild Atlantic air. This sets the stage, making the coming cold feel even more dramatic. Second, a blocking high-pressure system, usually over Scandinavia or Greenland, that stops the usual west-to-east flow. This block holds back the Atlantic air and creates a traffic jam in the atmosphere. Third, a waiting mass of cold Arctic or continental air. With the block in place, winds shift, pulling in icy air from the north or east. The cold, dense air surges in, replacing the mild air almost instantly. When all 3 ingredients align, the UK goes from drizzle to deep freeze in hours. It's a perfect recipe for a sudden snap. Miss one ingredient, and the drama fizzles. But when they combine, brace yourself for a real weather shock. That's how our wildest cold snaps are born. Remember February 2018, the Beast from the East was a textbook case of our 3-ingredient recipe in action. A sudden stratospheric warming event disrupted the jet stream, letting a blocking high settle over Scandinavia. This high-pressure boulder stopped Atlantic air in its tracks and opened the door to Siberian cold. Winds shifted, pulling frigid air 2,000 miles from Siberia straight to the UK. Temperatures in London dropped from 10 to -2 degrees in days, with wind chills near -10. Snow blanketed even the southwest. Schools closed and travel ground to a halt. The Beast from the East showed just how quickly our weather can flip from mild to extreme. It was chaos, caused by the perfect atmospheric setup. The UK's vulnerability to continental cold was on full display. When the ingredients align, the results are unforgettable. That's the power of a true weather flip. Why does the cold arrive so suddenly? It's all about the cold front, the boundary between warm and cold air. Cold air is denser and heavier, so when a cold front arrives, it wedges under the warm air, forcing it up fast. This rapid lift creates dramatic weather. Gusty winds, a sharp temperature drop, and often a burst of rain, sleet, or snow. The change can happen in less than an hour. Once the front passes, the air feels instantly colder, drier, and clearer. Nights become especially cold because the new air mass is dry and cloud-free. Without clouds to trap heat, warmth escapes into space, and temperatures plummet. That's why the coldest nights follow right after a cold front. The switch is sudden, and the difference is unmistakable. It's a real-time weather takeover. The science behind it is simple, but the impact is huge. That's the magic of a cold front. Let's look at the numbers behind a real cold snap. In December 2022, London went from 9 degrees and drizzle to -4 and frost in just 48 hours, a 13-degree plunge. Across the UK, places like Braemar, Scotland, dropped from 7 degrees to -17 in a week. The secret? Arctic air, clear skies and calm winds, perfect for rapid cooling. Wind chill makes it feel even colder. During the beast from the east, -14 felt like -22 in the Highlands. The wind strips away your body's warmth, making the cold bite harder. These aren't just small dips, they're dramatic, environment-changing drops. The numbers show how powerful a weather flip can be. It's not just about temperature, it's about how quickly everything changes. From puddles to ice, from drizzle to deep freeze, the transformation is real. That's the true impact of a British cold snap, and it can happen almost overnight. The good news? You can spot a cold snap before it hits. Watch for a big H on weather charts over Greenland or Scandinavia, a blocking high. If it lingers, the usual Atlantic flow is about to be blocked. Next, check the jet stream. If it buckles south, cold air is on the way. Wind direction is another clue. If it shifts from southwest to north or east, get ready. For the keen-eyed, look at upper air temperature maps. If they turn blue or purple, a cold mass is coming. When you see all three, blocking high, buckled jet stream, and dropping upper air temps, a freeze is almost certain. You don't need to be a meteorologist to spot the signs. With a little practice, you can predict the flip days in advance. Stay ahead of the weather, and you'll never be caught off guard. It's all about reading the clues in the sky. That's how you become a true weather detective. Spotting a cold snap is one thing. Being ready is another. Before the freeze, check your insulation, block drafts, and protect outdoor taps. Bring in delicate plants and dig out your winter gear. During the freeze, keep heating steady, check on vulnerable neighbors, and limit travel if you can. If you must drive, prep your car with de-icer, blankets, and emergency supplies. Don't forget to help garden birds. They struggle in the cold. After the freeze, watch for flooding as snow melts and check pipes for leaks. Restock supplies like grit and de-icer so you're ready next time. A little preparation goes a long way. With the right steps, you can stay safe, warm, and even enjoy the winter wonderland. British weather may be wild, but you can be ready for anything. Preparation turns chaos into comfort. That's the secret to surviving the switch. Next time you see a huge temperature drop, don't panic. It's not random. It's a logical sequence driven by powerful forces in the atmosphere. That sudden chill is the finale of a weather drama playing out over days and continents. By learning to spot the signs, you become an informed observer, not just a bystander. This knowledge keeps you safe and turns stress into fascination. Science gives us the tools to understand and enjoy our ever-changing weather. So, be curious. Watch the forecasts, read the charts, and share your own weather stories. The more you look, the more you'll see. Our wild British weather isn't just something to complain about. It's a front row seat to one of